Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our session today. Today, we will be reviewing how to set up alarms in Action 1. So I did want to make it clear that Action 1 alarms are actually sent via emails. We don't generate S&P alerts. We don't have any other integrations per se, although you can go into Zapier and do whatever you'd like with the platform. Lots of ways of doing stuff in there. But out of Action 1's main console, there's two different ways you can set up email alarms. The first one is when you're defining your groups or when you're editing your groups, you can define specific thresholds that you want for endpoints that have been offline. So if an endpoint's been offline for more than 30 minutes or an hour, you can generate an email alert to let people know that that's a problem. The other one that you can do is set up alarms in reports. You can define specific thresholds that you want in our report templates and then get alerts when those thresholds are crossed. So we'll go take a look at our environment real quick and see how to manipulate things. All right, so this is the Action 1 dashboard. So let's go on down to our endpoints where we can see our endpoint groups. So for each of these groups, we can have different configuration settings. So if I take a look at my corporate application, for example, this is a critical application. I really need it to be up and running on a very consistent basis so I can see what my definitions are for my environment. I can also see there's an option down here for setting up alerts. So we can definitely define alerts for how long endpoints have been offline. So in my environment, if my corporate application has been offline for more than 30 minutes, I want to have that sent to, let's see, myself, and we'll select some other folks that we can send this alarm to, and then generate it and to let those folks know that, hey, we have 1, 2, 3, X number of endpoints that have been offline for more than 30 minutes. Now, there is another field in here for notification when endpoints are back online. Don't recommend this one. And the reason is that the online is not associated with offline. So in other words, you don't get an alert just when an endpoint's been offline for a period of time. Anytime a heartbeat is missed and we see another heartbeat later on, you'll get a back online message. So if you have an environment where you're dropping packets periodically, you will get tons of these back online emails when in fact your endpoints have been up the whole time. They've just been bouncing and you've been missing a heartbeat or two. So definitely not one to be too interested in for sure. This one is very useful. All right, so let's go on down to our report templates as well. So I'm going to go into one of the easiest reports to set up an alarm on, which is our load disk base report. And we're going to go over here and take a look. So let me explain this report real quick. This is a report that tells me all the endpoints partitions that have a partitioned percent free space less than 30%. So for each endpoint that I have in my environment, we monitor all the drives. If I see a drive that's lower than 30% free disk space based on the total percentage, I will generate a line in this table that will tell me which endpoints are having the problem, which drives are actually under 30% free. So this is a good one to set an alarm on. So how do we set that up? We go to Tools and go to Create Alert. Now, when I'm setting up alerts, you need to define what you want to alert on. So we do that by adding filters. So I'm going to alert, I could alert on free disk space total, or I could do percent free or any of the other fields in here, honestly. But I'm going to go ahead and do percent free, and I'm going to say less than 6%. So now I've got a definition of my environment for this report. If I see any endpoints that are less than 6% free disk space, I want to generate an email and get it sent to myself. Now, one of the things to note is you can only add one user per alert. So if you want to send multiple people alerts, you'll have to create the same alert over and again. Also, we need to take a look at when we generate that alert. So when new lines are added to this report, I want to definitely compare them to my threshold here to see if I've gone below it. If a line's been deleted, that means that they've gone over 30%, so that's not going to meet my criteria. But when endpoints are modified, when that threshold for that percent free goes below 6% on a modification, later on, I might want to go ahead and get alerts defined and sent to me. All right, so that is the basis for setting up alarms in Action 1, the two different ways of setting that up. And we'll go ahead and click on Save. This alarm is now created and set up to send an email to me and let me know what's going on. By the way, email users must exist in Action 1 for you to be able to put them in these alerts. So just FYI. All right, that's it for today's session. I hope everybody found it useful. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you guys later on. Thanks very much, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye now.